My name is Christy Pranga, and I have the privilege of sharing with you the daily devotion for today. Have you ever felt disappointed with life? Did you ever have a plan or a dream that you wanted so badly, but because of life's circumstances, it never came to fruition? Do you ever feel like life has passed you by? Your best days are behind you, and God must surely be through with you, at least with the hopes and dreams that you once had. If so, then I think you will be encouraged by our famous biblical mother of today, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's story is found in the Gospel of Luke in chapter 1. Luke 1 verse 5 tells us of Elizabeth from the priestly line of Aaron, marrying Zachariah, a priest, also from the line of Aaron, and from one of the highest priestly divisions of Abijah. Most likely, two very excited sets of parents arranged their marriage and had high hopes for them to continue the priestly line. I imagine, like most young brides, Elizabeth was excited to have children right away. She probably waited that first month for a pregnancy to happen, but then the months turned into years, and I imagine that people began to talk. Why was there no baby? And for such a highly favored and important couple, what had they done to lose favor with God? You see, barrenness wasn't only a huge disappointment and loss of a dream for the couple. In that society, it was a sign of reproach and disgrace for Elizabeth. She would have had to endure gossip, wagging tongues, well-meaning advice, and ultimately be known as the woman who was barren. You might expect Elizabeth to be bitter and angry with God for allowing this to happen. But instead, we see in verse 6 that both Elizabeth and Zachariah were righteous in the sight of God, observing the Lord's commands and decrees blamelessly. The story picks up again when they are both old and well beyond childbearing years. An angel announces to Zachariah that Elizabeth is going to have a baby, and not just any baby, but the prophesied Forerunner to the Messiah. After a lifetime of waiting and wondering, God shows up in a huge way for Elizabeth. And he doesn't stop there. In verse 39, we read about Mary visiting Elizabeth. And upon seeing her, we come to our key verse of the day, verse 41. When Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the baby leaped in her womb, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. You see, John the Baptist, in Elizabeth's womb, recognized Jesus, the Messiah, in Mary's womb and leaped for joy. This was an unexpected visit. Mary didn't even have to say a thing. Elizabeth, through the Holy Spirit's working, knew in that moment that her relative Mary was going to bear the Messiah. I can't even imagine the joy and excitement and praise to God. Elizabeth remained faithful, and God didn't forget her. In fact, the best, the way best, was yet to come. God is the God of the impossible, and he loves you, and he has great plans for you. No matter if your life has gone according to plan or veered way off course. Just like Elizabeth, we need to be faithful and obedient to him, and I promise you that God's best is yet to come.